Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin, and this is the Peerless Small Batch Barrel Proof Bourbon. Love how everybody makes their names so long. Anyway, this is this is kind of an interesting one. This whiskey dates back all the way to the 1880s. Mm-hmm. There was Peerless. That brand was back then. They were based out of Henderson, Kentucky. At that time, but
Prohibition
came around. They had to shut the doors. So ultimately,
they didn't keep their medicinal license.
They did not get a medicinal license. So unfortunately, they did not get to continue to
Which is
produce.
funny because they're right down the street from Old Forester. And Old Forester did.
Now they are, but not then. Then they were in Henderson. So the name was relaunched in 2014. And they opened up their building in downtown Louisville. And the cool part is they went back and reapplied for the distilling permit. So they still have
The same plant
number 50.
Yep.
So that's kind of an interesting
Yep.
one. This is done in very small batches. So it says small batch. It's done in very small batches. I believe it's only a handful of bottles.
Love the cork on this bottle. It's like a doorknob.
That is one of the things. Yeah. It's a very solid cork top to this bottle. So they're done in very small batches. It doesn't say very small, but it is very small. It is tagged with, I don't know, a lot of digits. And I think there's a way to go on and look up.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
The age and the barrels and all that kind of stuff. But it's not, one, I couldn't find it. So that's part one. Two, apparently it's pretty dated. Like they don't update it regularly. So I don't know if my bottle would be on there one way or the other. Outside of that, we don't know an age statement. But it is straight bourbon. It has to be at least 4 years old because there's no age statement anywhere on the bottles. It is non-chill filtered and it is barrel proof. But they barrel at 107. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an interesting one. They barrel way lower than they're legally allowed to. You're legally allowed to barrel all the way up to 125. And it's a sweet mash.
So they barrel it at 107, but this is 107.5.
So this is 107.5. So the proof came up just a little bit.
Radio station.
Yes. The water evaporated a little bit more than the alcohol, so the proof came up a bit. But it's a sweet mash.
Okay.
It's not a sour mash. They don't ever pull any of the old mash into the new mash. So there's a pretty decent fluctuation from batch to batch. Mm-hmm. Thought that was interesting. Not done very often.
I would say most of their bottles are, we jokingly said it, they're proud of their product. Because every bottle
they're
is
premium priced,
$70 to $1.30.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
I mean even at the distillery.
They are premium priced.
Yep.
There's no question about that.
But yeah, they're down at the very end. I think they're the furthest distillery down, whatever that main drag is.
Okay.
Yep.
So don't know a mash bill. Mm-mm. It is a rye bourbon, not a wheat bourbon. Don't know a mash bill. Don't know an age statement. Don't know anything outside of this bottle. This particular bottle is 107.5. You'll find them usually 105 to 110 is where you'll find most of the bottles at.
Get some ethanol, that's for sure.
Yeah. There's a spice or something in there. It's not spice though. It's something. What is that? Maybe a little
tobacco.
oaky.
I get tobacco.
Tobacco? Okay. I could go down that path. Definitely could go down that path. I was thinking maybe a little oakiness with touches of traditional bourbon. So there's a little bit of a vanilla brown sugar sweetness in there too.
Ooh, it's making my mouth water.
Yeah, it's not. You're not getting an oaky dry out on the
No,
palate.
it's making me water.
There's
caramels and cinnamon.
I get both those. I almost get a slight like a Charleston Chew, like a peanut caramel combo.
Mm-hmm.
Not the. I get a little bit of. There's a little peanut and a sweet note in there, like the caramel note too.
I can see that. Yeah, the Charleston Chew.
I'm not getting chocolate. That's the only. As soon as I said that, I was like, oh, well, that's covered in chocolate. I don't really get a chocolate. Yeah, vanilla version of that. Yes, a little vanilla, some caramel, some peanut. They might be a little bit more known for their ryes. They started with ryes.
Yeah. So when we were up there, I did the Peerless sample. But I think mine, it was 4. I think all 4 were ryes, though.
I thought it was 2 bourbons and 2 ryes for yours. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
That was a bit ago. That was a bit of a time ago. They were also at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Now, here's the interesting part. They were a craft distillery. They're still considered a craft distillery.
Yeah.
I want to say they're just a touch too big to be a craft distillery still.
I would agree.
But they're not Sazerac. They're not huge, but they're way bigger than some of those like craft distilleries. But they have bourbons. They have
an extra rabbit hole, like just outside the craft.
Yeah, just like in that area, but not quite. But they have some ryes. They have bourbons. They have some, but they've started to release.
They've got a smoky one too.
They've started to release a handful of new, like a double barreled and a couple of different finishes that, honestly, I've heard are amazing.
I haven't had a bad sample from Peerless.
It's
just again, it's a very pricey lineup.
They price themselves as a premium. This is a $70 bourbon. For a non-age statement, 107 proof bourbon. Little heavy. Some of those special double, if it's a double barrel or something, yeah, you're talking $120, $130 for that, and that's MSRP. So they do price themselves at a premium. It's a good product. I'm not 100% certain it's a premium product at this point.
No, love the bottle, love the cork.
It's a.
I mean, there's some money spent on the packaging because of all the way.
I mean, the bottle shape, the little raised nubs, it kind of looks like a barrel, right? Like that's rivets and stuff like that. And then that doorstop of a cork top is crazy. I mean, it's such.
You're opening greatness.
I mean, there's weight. That's a metal cork top. It's
a doorknob, man.
That's expensive. I mean, you're adding a whole lot of expense.
The packaging is, I think, a big part of this.
Yeah.
But what's inside
it stands out.
Good. Yeah, it does.
That bottle stands out. You see that, you're like, oh. There's only 2 that have that, and the other one doesn't quite make the same noise when it hits the bar top.
Yeah.
It's very good bourbon. It is slightly overpriced. That's my opinion.
I would agree.
I like it's got a little bit of the rye bite to it, but it's not aggressively rye. Yeah, it's a really good bourbon.
It's just subtle.
Yeah, it's there, but it's not. All right. I have to guess. Non-chill filtered. This is going to have a pretty solid amount of oil. Oh, yeah. I just saw the dance.
Yeah.
I saw a little oil dance there. Tobacco and leather. Really strong on the nose now. Which normally, tobacco and leather, my experience, doesn't come up until it's a much older whiskey. Like usually that's a...
I'm more leather now.
10 to 12-year-old whiskey is more that leather and tobacco and barrel notes for bourbons. So are they putting, is it a blend of really old stuff and some newer stuff, and they don't want to put the newer stuff age in there because it's... I don't know. I'd be interested to know. I don't know. That's got to be a trope, I guess. Yeah, I get more of those tobacco, leathers, age. More of an age note is what comes off with a little bit of water.
It's more leather. It was tobacco before. Now it's more leather.
That smells just like when you walk into a leather coat store.
Yeah.
That
Wilson's leather in the mall.
Exactly. Doesn't change a lot. It's sweet. A little bite at the end. It's nice. It's a nice bourbon. But it didn't change a lot from neat.
I like it better without the water.
I don't. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a warm.
Ooh, yeah. Totally getting the hug now. There's a Kentucky hug. I don't know. Again, it's good. So it's a very good bourbon. It is not it doesn't quite live up to the price that they're charging for that bourbon, but it's still really good. Mm-hmm. I would more recommend getting a pour of this at a bar than I would buying a bottle.
So I guess I'll kind of relate this to kind of like for us, the like Old Ingrams that were released in the last year. Mm-hmm. Something new, but right out of the gate they're $70-ish. Mm-hmm. So but I think these guys, I mean, their first one was released 2019, so
right,
trying to recoup some of their investment, trying to strike while the iron's hot. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But I think it's just a little overpriced.
It's a little overpriced. Yep. It could be a quantity issue too. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can't quite produce enough. Maybe they need to ramp up production, aging, whatever it is.
I think you can say that for a lot of places.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of places that are in that ballpark right now. They haven't quite gotten to the point where they can produce enough to
drop it a little bit.
Drop the price a little bit. Man, it's every once in a while that I get just a touch of peanut note in there. It's funny.
Again, I have not had a bad pour from Peerless. I've tried a number of them.
They're all good. They're all very good. They're just
love
little
the bottle,
expensive.
Love the doorknob on top.
Yeah, that'll be.
I think that obviously contributes to, I think, part of the price.
Probably not the cheapest bottle.
Yeah. If you went with just a normal bottle.
Right. A normal shape, a normal cork, it probably would cut the, I don't know, 10,
$15 down.
Yeah.
But they're trying to stand out.
They do.
And they've got some name recognition now. So again, to your point, they probably shouldn't have been in the craft.
Yeah,
they should have been out kind of in between the
beams,
distillers, the makers.
Beam makers, Four Roses, Bardstown are all over here, and then you have Peerless with proof and wood. No, they are not in the same. They don't play in the same sandbox.
Nope. We'll have to get up there. It's definitely worth the trip up there to get up and down that street. Plain water review.
Yeah, there's a lot of different Peerless ones, so we'll have to
be
hunt those down.
And on how we want to spend our money on those.
Exactly.
If someone from Peerless watches this video, if we're missing something, please let us know.
Love to know the economics as to why it's so expensive outside of the bottle and the cork.
Absolutely. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, we'd encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get content like this just thrown right into your feed.
Help us continue to grow the channel.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.